Welcome to News World, Albany Banana Corps. Today we have Dan J. Plaat of the Green Party running for Albany County Executive. So he's going to take a moment to introduce himself and explain what the Green Party is and what Albany County Executive is.
Okay. So yeah, I'm the Green Party candidate for Albany County Executive. The county executive is kind of like the president of the county, or the mayor rather. He deals with budget. He appoints the heads of the departments. Albany County has a lot of departments. There's a lot of local politicians who actually, they always say county is where the action is because there's a lot more regulation happening there and there's a lot more money being spent, about $500 million in total. It's where all of the federal and state monies get divvied up and distributed for building roads, or fixing them rather, and all kinds of other things. So where the Green Party stands apart from the major two parties, Republicans, Democrats, Republicrats, is that we don't take corporate money. We're a workers' party, we're a people's party. We put planet, peace, and people before profit. And we have principles. The principles are social and economic democracy, social and economic justice, grassroots democracy, and peace. Those are the four main values. There's 10 other sub-values that mostly have to do with policy, that have to do with sustainability, that we're both left and libertarian. We're not only against corporate power, but we're against obtrusive government power. We prefer that power be shared once we take office. And actually, instead of a politician that will say, this is what I'm going to do for you when I'm elected, we all agree that government doesn't work. Rather, it doesn't function, it doesn't work for everyone. When it doesn't work, you don't use government to fix government. You say, the argument then has to be, how am I going to give power to the people so they can fix government? That's the kind of demand that we should be putting on the body politic, as it were. I came up through the Occupy movement, so I have a radical edge to myself, and I see running for office as an extension of my activism, so it's way more about doing media like this than the kind of retail politics that people are used to seeing. And can we move from there?
Yes. So that's what the Green Party is in Albany County Executive and why he's running for it. He has full support of News World, and the Worldy Award goes to the Green Party.
Oh my God, I have so many people to thank. I need to thank my father. He, being a second-generation environmentalist, he helped start the Save Pine Bush. So if you're aware of the Pine Bush Preserve, so I grew up with activism, having a shared sense of values. I want to thank all of my family members who taught me to not be a lying asshole. I want to thank the Occupy movement. It taught me so much. It taught me that democracy can work when you actually do it directly, that you actually have people involved and you don't let process get in the way of organizing.
Okay.
I'm going to treasure this always.
All right, and now we're going to go on to some local news, which isn't very exciting recently. But CDTA has an expanded bus, so...
Yeah, it's enlonged. We're catching up to New York City, slowly but surely. We'll have our whole street of bike lane. We'll have...
Bikes. I appreciate the bike lane thing. I understand it.
I'm referring to the Madison Avenue Road diet at this moment.
Right. How are you going to... I know that some people can bike in the winter.
I do.
Yeah, you're 0.001 of the
I'm
population.
also under 30, so that kind of helps. But
yeah, I smoke cigarettes. Condolences to Ed O'Brien's family. He has passed away. We lost a journalist in the area.
Oh, right,
Newsman.
TV, right.
Yep. And we got these Walk Your City signs.
Yeah.
You want to
Signs are actually surprisingly expensive. I remember they're like $100 or so each. I could be wrong about that.
My problem with the signs. I know, you got a problem with signs? Why would you have a problem with signs?
It's telling me where to walk.
It's not telling you where to walk. It says abolitionist house, 20-minute walk arrow pointing.
It's wayfinding for tourists,
Right.
which
is a booming industry in this area.
It's helpful when you're a tourist. It's helpful to have wayfinding.
Well, okay, but they could also just make a website and then like, oh, what do I do in Albany? And then instead of walking up to the sign, and you can't use the sign without a smartphone. They have no directions
having
on
a
it.
kind of amusement park style map at a place where people say like would start, like say this is the tourist parking area.
Yes.
And then you put the map there, and then people can wayfind based on a map.
And if you have a smartphone, why do you need the sign? You have a smartphone. Just
And if
look
you're a
up.
tourist in Albany, you have enough money for a smartphone.
Yeah, if you're a tourist in
Not to
Albany,
be
you should have
That's
spent that money
presumptuous,
more
but,
wisely, in my opinion. But
It goes to my ethic that we should be.
Trolleys.
What about them?
We get the trolleys back. That's our cash cow. Did you hear the guy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer was arrested?
I don't care about that. I'm a little too young for Buffy.
I'm more of a Xena, Princess Warrior guy.
Uh-huh.
She was badass.
Yeah. That's fine. What was he arrested for then?
I don't know.
I saw the headline, oh, Biden's going to enter the presidential race. And I actually have the same exact reaction. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't think it matters who's president.
No. The 1% kind of has
It makes
everything under
absolutely no difference.
Yeah, there's a consensus in Washington between both parties. That's why you need independent third parties. And the Greens, and if you're more conservative or more free market oriented, there's a libertarian.
I'm gonna coin a phrase right now. How about capitalistic dictatorship?
Oh, you didn't coin that.
I didn't?
No, it exists.
No.
And I've read it. There's also totalitarian democracy. So we get to vote, but it's basically for a system of oligarchs that really run the show and have for most of our history, at the destruction and the impediment of communities and humanity. And the environment too, of course.
The environment, people. Listen, Cuomo, your Algonquin pipeline has got to go. I mean, you got to go, but before that, your Algonquin pipeline does. Because what the fuck, man? With the fracking, Natalie Merchant was all up in your grill.
Are you going to introduce what the Algonquin pipeline is?
I'm pretty sure it's a pipeline going through New York.
Yeah. It's one of several pipelines to transport frack gas from Pennsylvania to the ports on the Atlantic for export. There's the Northeast Direct Pipeline, which is high pressure. So there's a few things at play here. We banned fracking in New York, and that's because of the hard work of activists. I hate every headline that would say Cuomo bans fracking. No.
Oh God, that pissed me off so much.
Oh yes, I marched for 3 years. Shouting my head off.
Again, the government takes
credit for what we did.
Thank you.
Or rather, it's what
going to end because you're on blast.
What we forced them to do. So, viewers, understand that things happen in government when you show up. When you show up and you scare them.
Yes.
You scare them by showing up. Showing up and vote against them, importantly. Because even if you're a nihilist, go vote and leave it blank. Because it registers that you voted, but you didn't care who was on it.
Oh yeah, explain that you can vote for whoever you want.
Yeah, this is apparently a misconception, probably because civics in high school suck so bad. No matter what party you're registered, everyone gets the same ballot, and you can vote for whoever you want. So Green Party is row D. We got it because we did pretty well in the last gubernatorial election. That's how the rankings are decided. You decided that you're not only an actual party of New York by getting more than 50,000 votes, but based on how many you get, then you get ranked in order, right? That's why the Democrats are always on top. They get the most votes. You can vote for whoever you want, and usually, in fact, always, in New York at least, there is a write-in line for every race. So your options are thus, if, say, you're anti-authoritarian. If you're a nihilist and you think voting is a complete waste of time and it's like the George Carlin approach, if you vote, it's consent to be ruled over.
Yup.
Even if that's that's your bag, just leave it blank. Show that you did not want to, you did not like what you saw. If you did your research on the candidates, but don't like what you have, then write in yourself, write in someone you like.
So technically, next election, I could be written in as mayor.
Yes. You have
Watch
to let
your
people
ass.
know you want to be mayor, and you might get a third of the vote.
I think it just might happen anyway because people
10th.
like me so much.
You're a creative guy.
And you want a nose ring? Fine, have a nose ring because it's an individual world in a free country where people express themselves in many different fashions.
That's usually not what I'm talking about, actually.
And I don't trust people who haven't been arrested. Do you?
I haven't been. I took care not to, but I did have some close calls.
No, it's good. We, I accept everybody for who they are, but
I mean, I was in the heart of Wall Street during the Occupy movement, and I did some things that maybe if I had a darker skin color, maybe the cops would have went after me first. But because when they were coming at us with, get out, stay on the sidewalk. I get on the sidewalk.
I've been there, man. I'm all about
it's a
direct
matter
action.
of tactics. You keep moving as long as you keep moving. So there would be people who would stop because they committed to being arrested that day. When we first held the park, Bloomberg said they was going to sweep the park, but we cleaned it. I went. It was the most scared I've ever been in my life. I was really sweating bullets. And I went like at 5 a.m. because they said they were going to sweep it at like 7 o'clock. And I learned that they were going to back off. And it was like jubilant, and I was like, oh, such a relief. I didn't have to actually get arrested. But I was, it was it was like a Saturday, so like I knew I could spend a day in jail.
So you were in that park where the Occupy movement was in New York City.
Yeah, I worked there, and I call it work there. It was usually twice a week, 2 days a week. But it would be all day. It wouldn't be like 8 hours. I'd be there for 12. And I worked the info table. So this was the table like this. It's facing Broadway. So 1,000 people are coming by. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? And I would sit there with a simple expression, simple talking point. Well, we're here to fight government corruption and economic inequality. And I would repeat that ad nauseum, along with other things, and I'd argue with people. And I could expand on it, what we're doing. We use direct democracy. Why don't you stick around for one of our assemblies, get a taste of it. Because once you get a taste of it, once you get a taste of real democracy, what it is, not representative, not with delegates or Robert's rules, everything's top down, everything's organized top down. Principal, then teachers and students, right? Then you go to college. And then it's administration, professors, students. Then you go to your workplace, board, manager, you. And part of my platform and part of the Green Party's message and the things we want to do in government, but also organized to do outside of government, is to have more democratic workplaces, worker management, worker ownership, and that goes for housing, citizen ownership, group ownership, because we got to get over this thing that we're alone, we're on our own. And if you fail, it's your fault. Oh, well, we got the opportunity. I hate using the word opportunity. I use possibility. I want to increase possibilities, the possibilities people have. Because you can give people the opportunity, and it's literally, you can set them up to fail that way. And that's what a lot of our retail politics does. We fully funded the school, at least to this point, and you still dropped out. I guess it's on you. Even if, say, rent's too damn high, parents have to work 2 jobs. My father's only rule was, you can do whatever you want, for me and my older brother, as long as there's no blood.
You know what my father said? Joe, you know what my father said?
Nothing?
My father said, I don't give a fuck what you do, just never hit a woman.
Words to live by. The revolution has come far.
Yes. If the woman's coming at me with a knife or something, I'm gonna lay your ass out. But that's self-defense, that's different.
That's true. So my position on like gun control and stuff is
Yeah.
really mixed because
Mine isn't.
I see it as a matter of violence.
Yeah.
We always talk about gun violence. Well, why don't we try tampering down violence as a general concept and wage peace? And then it doesn't matter if it's by knife, gun, drone, airstrike, or suicide bomb.
Revolutionary. It's a revolutionary idea.
We've tamped down violence. Now, of course, how do you do that? Well, I actually teach kids to resolve their problems using nonviolence.
Yes.
You literally have like a kind of Gandhi or
You might have to care about your community at some point.
Yeah, and there's a lot of programs and always like there's always a little bit, but it's always an island in a sea of do what we tell you because. Really, I get tired of their Socratic bullshit asking me why all the time. And I just say, 'cause I said so.
My solution to gun violence, and a lot of violence in general,
Yeah.
we're allowed to have a gun, but it's not in a mandatory education. There's no mandatory education, so you don't learn how to hold, load, shoot, not point it at people, be responsible. It should be in public education. You should be trained how to use a gun.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm asking you.
God forbid, like, okay, what happens to unarmed populations throughout history? You know? You think Russia and China wouldn't gang up on us?
Well,
Like, I mean, we're talking ultimates here, but I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not like,
We're in
the government's gonna
we're in
come
a
and
way
get
more-
guns. It's like, you know, it could be anybody.
It's
It
on
could
the
happen,
line.
man. You seen Red Dawn?
That's a movie.
Yeah.
I prefer reality.
I don't.
Oh, trust me, I like action movies for sure, but they usually have to be either animated or so CG'd.
When she's got that grenade, and she's just like, leave me.
Let me tell you, I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I'm cheering for us to organize ourselves, to own the means of production, just
Okay.
the stuff to get you stuff.
Maybe I will coin a phrase. I'm an ultimatist.
Ultimatist.
Anybody use that?
Unless it's comparable to essentialism.
Ultimately, we're all. I mean, this is going to piss a lot of people off.
Replace it with essentially.
In my
and probably
opinion,
have
I
the same
speak for
ideology.
myself in news world. We're a bunch of hyper-intelligent primates, and we need to get a hold of this situation.
We can. It's in our power. It's in our hands. That's the Green Party's slogan for. The other one is Go Green.
In our hands. Go green.
Go Green in 2016.
All right, now on to the reports.
All right.
We have your arch nemesis in a Zamboni race with the Kathy Sheehan there. Here's Dan McCoy
You know, I was
and
just.
Kathy Sheehan
Yeah.
in a Zamboni race.
But I had the mayor at an advantage because she's just coming back from London, a little jet lag, she's tired. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. Oh!
You won the race, congratulations, but it's all for a good cause because we're kicking off our Coats for Kids.
Absolutely, and the Devils more than happy to be involved once again for the 5th year with the Cash for Coats campaign.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'll let you in right now. Okay. I'll be right back. 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally forgot my damn roommate fell asleep.
I got a fucking no Albany County Executive candidate for the Green Party situation.
Interesting, very interesting. Much better than London.
How was London, Kathy?
Oh my
So, why did Kathy Sheehan go to London?
This is my opinionated analysis.
Well, just what did they say?
Okay. What they said was it was a mayor's conference, I think put on by Bloomberg. That makes sense. Bloomberg's all about powerful mayors. It's been a trend in kind of mainstream-ish thought that with the gridlock of our national and state levels, that it's mayors who have the ability and power and flexibility to get things done. Now, what these things that they're doing are is, and how positive they are is up to debate, but in the context that the mayor is in, it's not up for debate. They're doing very positive things. And that's a sense that, you know, it goes to local control and the desire for local control, but it's put in the framing of executives and boards and not mass participation. So that's my analysis of it. But otherwise, it is the right trend to go towards local power, local control, like the local, this is where we solve problems. We just need access to common resources. That's how I see government, a facilitator for access to common resources, and then get out of people's way.
Thank you, yeah.
For the most
And I
part.
don't think that resources should be owned by corporations at all. I don't think they should control natural resources, selling our ass back to us.
There's this quote, the poor may inherit the earth, but not its mineral rights.
I'll tell you.
That needs to change.
Oh, it's going to change. We have another report, Murder at Cherry Hill, which was a great book, and Sean O'Reilly is at the Cherry Hill.
This is in the past.
Yeah.
Not a recent murder.
No.
Make that clear.
Yeah. The Cherry Hill was owned by the Van Rensselaers, and they had, Joseph Wemple took it over, and he was managing the estate. And then he was shot by Jesse Strang in a love triangle with his wife and him and that dude.
Are we talking about some Victorian drams?
Yeah, and they're doing
Pride
a
and Prejudice
reenactment.
stuff?
Had to have an alibi so no one would suspect me. So I went into town, purchased the oil of Spike, and arranged for the pantaloons. And I lingered there in several stores, idling away my time and that of the clerks. Then, under cover of darkness, I ran back to Cherry Hill, about a mile, arriving in 10 minutes. When I got back to the house, I began to circle.
That was wild.
They needed some gun control, right? That would have fixed that.
Oh, yeah.
That's all they needed.
Oh,
Make it a gun-free zone.
yeah. Maybe if you had 7 instead of 8 rounds in that musket. I'm done. It's complicated.
Certainly is. But the first step towards understanding is to actually put in some effort. You need time to do that. One of my major planks is to join the call for basic income, which is a guaranteed stipend for everyone. All right? So it's not like a handout. Everyone gets it.
Thank you. Yes, I've always believed in that. Even before he just said it.
Just right now.
Ultimately, I'm a journalist. Unfortunately, no one's going to pay me to do this.
That's okay. Money isn't everything.
You hear that? And we have another report.
Really?
This one is David W. Ehlers, who is a piano prodigy in the area, who you probably didn't know about until right now.
play so much better, but this piano was so choppy and like it just
Do
beat
all
up.
the keys work though?
They had pianos.
Somewhat. It just needs to be maintained, honestly.
And what's your name, man?
Been out here.
What's your name?
David.
Alex. Good to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
Definitely.
What's your last name, dude?
Ehlers, David Ehlers. Look me up on Facebook, man. I'm just
Okay.
a young individual striving to make myself out here.
I definitely do
Music
that.
is a passion.
All right, David Ehlers.
You got it on your
Elders.
bucket list
Cool.
to play every street piano in Albany?
There's only one now.
This is the only one, I guess. Or else I'd
no,
be everywhere.
there's more. I've seen them, but I don't remember where.
Last year
They had the same thing, play me piano or whatever, or play me on yours, but they have about like 12 different
Well,
spots.
yeah, maybe compressing time. I'm old, you know.
Tell Albany to bring back the pianos. Tell Albany to bring back the pianos.
Bring back the pianos, Albany!
All right.
Some more talent. Music is everything, you know?
Thank you. So we need more pianos is the summation of that report.
I myself play the saxophone.
Saxophone. Oh. Huh? You like that? All right.
Oh, groovy.
We have this thing that happened in the Albany Public Library called Albany Homicide and Murder Ballads. Albany.
Oh, a musical performance?
Yeah. So what they did was they took actual murders and turned them into songs, and it was awesome.
How long have I been asleep here? I didn't kill my Mary, I swear. I'll take the lid of this soup can and slit my wrists. To live without my bride is an impossible twist. Do you remember that afternoon? You said that you were sad, so blue. You said our love felt untrue. But you are mine for now and always. Officer, release me from this cell. 10 long years, this is an unfair hell. I didn't kill my Mary, my bride. She's the one I love, she's the one I marry. Mary. Mary.
This is another reason that I can't get paid for my journalism. I was so
It's not that you swear,
no.
you profanity-laced mouth.
The camera is like the camera works horrible because I was very late and very drunk.
Get your shit together, man.
I got it. I went there and I did it, and it was awesome. And nobody can fire me. Anger is a new trick for a robot.
I'm not saying.
Respond.
Sorry, what's the new trick?
That's
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Because of my social progressiveness, to accept socially or semi-conscious robots as persons.
I think that nanotech uptown is Skynet.
It's certainly part of the network of multinational corporations that could be considered like as
They
powerful as
have
Skynet.
artificial
There certainly
intelligence.
is destructive. If you go up to the tar sands like up in Alberta, it looks like the apocalypse of
tar sands.
In fact, it's tonight.
They're trying to get tar sands
Yes.
next to my apartment in the South End. Like they're trying to do that.
It's been blocked so far.
Do you need more oil and like trains and shit down there? Like, I mean, at some point that shit's gonna fucking go off and kill like 40,000 people. And shut down upstate New York all the way to Montreal. Like, I mean, seriously, it's a fucking problem. We're talking like it's gonna set Rensselaer on fire.
Before you go on, the true danger, of course, is dun-dun, climate change. When it comes to climate change, it's not a matter of when or it's just how dramatic it will be.
It's gonna be dramatic, and let me tell you.
And we're already seeing some of that. Polar vortexes are not like some natural accident. The very weather system has shifted, and the oceans are in fact getting warmer, and there's only like one area in the North Atlantic that's actually cold.
The salinity needs to be, the water freezes and then the salinity changes. I don't know, it's fucked up, but it's fucked up. Listen, y'all want to act like we couldn't power the earth off of solar power and tides? If you believe that that is not possible, you are part of the problem. That's all
Offshore wind. The big push for when it comes to our state government is that our energy plan, which is basically burn natural gas till it runs out.
Right.
It should include offshore wind.
It's
okay
perfect. We have the technology and the resource to save the planet, and we're not doing it because we're allowing these corporate fuckers to fuck us. And now for the interrogation room.
Oh, shit.
Green Party, come out and play, yay!
The Ants movie had very anti-authoritarian tones.
That was the last good DreamWorks movie, I think, because it had. Oh yeah, the Ants was their transition from their good 2Ds to their shitty 3Ds, where everything's pop culture references. Ants is a fusion.
I agree.
Wake the fuck up! Damn it, Dan.
I thought you shot me.
It was a banana, Dan.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Are you an Albany native?
Yes.
Are you running for Albany County Executive for the Green Party?
Yes.
What's your favorite color, and would you ever sell toys that may or may not poison children?
Orange and no.
Even if it may just poison children? May?
I don't like poison children.
Okay. Tell us
hard-
about Occupy. Hey, Dan, we know you know about Occupy!
Yes. Told you I was there.
Yeah, okay.
Made up of a core of anarchists that was joined by many liberals and progressives because of our overreaching message. We changed the conversation and allowed people like Bernie Sanders to come up and say, I'm fighting inequality. And
Oh, sorry, you put me to sleep! Tell us about Black Lives Matter.
I know that Black Lives Matter and we need community-controlled police and a justice system that heals instead of imprisons people. Because people in cages doesn't work.
Do you know a good sound tech we could send to City Hall? I'll pay for it.
If it was citizen-funded, of course.
All right.
Because it definitely needs it. Those acoustics are
I
hard.
will pay just like a sound guy to come down there. I watch the TV. on the public access or government access, I can't hear what you're saying. Sometimes you got an empty chair. It's just an empty chair and mumbles. And furthermore, I can't hear what you're saying. You ever heard the Troy City Council?
No,
I know your county, but...
I've never been to a Troy City Council meeting, but I haven't heard good things.
Yo, Wilshire talks through a conch shell and wonders why Cthulhu and Aquaman show up. Listen, you! What do you think of mass incarceration?
I think it's wrong, and it's not only, as Michelle Alexander put it, the new Jim Crow, it's in part the new slavery.
And the police.
What about them?
I meant the band.
Oh. Yeah, they're good.
All right. Chickens in Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
A good compromise would be if there was like one park that one could raise like a community garden where all the chickens were just there, so then it's just...
I want to know about the chicken!
I know, we don't have Jennings to veto it anymore, so why hasn't it been reintroduced?
Good question.
Usually when something dies once, it's like gone forever. It's stupid. Just like the recall initiative and referendum process that we never got in this damn state, but California and Oregon and Colorado, they can actually have mass participation. They can actually legalize weed, and we don't even have anything. We have to do everything through legislatures. It's sickening. It's stupid. I've lobbied them. It's not pretty. Not pretty at all. Either their leadership and they're utterly corrupt, or they actually are ignorant.
I smoke weed every day.
You don't believe in God? What do you believe in? You're a bunch of Satanists. And so you all believe in evolution, like we all came from squirrels or something?
I've never spent 6 solid hours vomiting in a toilet because of weed. I have.
I can believe that.
Because of alcohol on numerous occasions.
Totally legal.
Totally
I've
legal.
heard.
Oh, I think I might go do that now. And smoke some weed. Would you ever save the last of each box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for a year so you could spend an afternoon eating the Cinnadust out of a mason jar for an afternoon?
Absolutely not.
That is where we differ. You seen Blade Runner?
No, I haven't.
What?
Yeah, it's one of my...
Okay, then before the next time
shames.
we hang out,
I know all about it.
You need to see that movie.
I know all about it, I just haven't sat through it.
You know who didn't see Blade Runner? Sam Fine.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Unlike Danielle, who has to work for a living.
I met her. She's awesome.
She's an activist.
You know?
She's an activist. And she cares. And she's not a legislative aide, which is what fine is.
I don't think that any politician, I think it should be illegal for politicians to take money from corporate donors. Straight out.
And it's weird that the County Board of Elections said they could do it on a county level.
Y'all don't take, at the Green Party, y'all don't take handouts from corporate
donors.
You see?
I said that already.
We can have a change. He's the change.
Green Party's the change.
Green Party's the change.
This is not about me.
This is not about him.
It's about the issues. It's usually just leadership versus not leadership. And then it's just a matter of what gang you're in.
Did you know there was no such thing as a seagull? It's actually a glaucous-winged gull. And speaking of goals, what would your goal be as Albany County Executive?
It would be to disseminate power in the county government, to distribute resources based on people's needs assessment, but also matter of mass participation. Whether it's through the budget, whether it's hiring people to lead departments who have been down in the trenches, who are activists, who actually know how things work. But it's just not a matter of how things work as they are, but people who have a vision as well as how things can be better, especially a vision that includes the participation and the governance of those who use services, who, well, basically all citizens, all residents.
Dan, thank you for being on the show.
Terrorist fist bump?
Terrorist fist bump. All right.
Oh my God, it's code.